Hello, welcome to episode 45 of Tesla's Sidekick. This is Love Equals Energy Plus AI. This is about Jack Ma and Elon Musk. I hope that's how you spell it, how you pronounce Jack's last name. Anyway, so I just watched the debate that the two of them had. And this was a very interesting debate in regard to powerful people. Now, Jack is the CEO and founder of Alibaba, and Elon Musk, CEO and founder of Tesla and SpaceX. Now, could argue about co-founders, but I just want to move past that. The point is that these are two men that have done extraordinary things in their respective countries. And Jack did something very unique in his country. Elon did something very unique in his country. Now, they disagreed and agreed slightly. I mean, it was a very interesting discussion about AI, Mars, jobs, education, life. And it ends with basically a mic drop. And this mic drop is, he just says, fight for the light of consciousness.
Thank you.
Fight for the light of consciousness.
And, yeah, I mean, fight for the light of consciousness. And I mean, this is really something that we need to think about, because when you look at, let's start with AI, then we'll talk about Mars, then jobs, then education, then life. Well, AI, right now, we've got record suicides, but wouldn't AI want to push people to suicide to basically thin the herd? Because death is nature's change agent. So you just accelerate that with the logic of AI. We need to be very careful, because this advanced intelligence, it could be controlled by other people, other governments. It could be controlled by, the computer system itself going conscious and making decisions on its own. Like, okay, I'm going to do this to make money, set up this bank account, whatever, siphon. I mean, who knows what artificial intelligence could do, let alone what advanced machine learning can do with human intelligence. That's what we should really be afraid of, and that's what Elon's getting at. But we've got countries, and we've got individuals, and we've got people that are creating things. It's not going to be some guy in a garage that creates this conscious artificial intelligence. I mean, I guess it could be possible, but it's much more likely that it's a major country or organization, because they've got the funding and they can attract the people, and then they induct them into their organization, and the people become so loyal, it's wild. It's interesting that, okay, so Russia has one of the highest suicide rates, then South Korea, and then we get to India, the US, which are about half. Samsung is 26 per 100,000 versus 31 for Russia. But then India is 16.3, US is 15, China is 9.7, Egypt is 4, Kenya is 3.2, Saudi Arabia 3.2, Iraq 3, Pakistan 2.9, United Arab Emirates 2.8. So when thinking about life, okay, we've got people killing themselves, but it's one of the major threats. But there are other threats to humanity and the earth and the planet. All these people, you want to solve global warming? Well, get rid of people. Problem solved. Although we could have potential, the planet has made major shifts over the years, and we don't know what caused those exactly. There are theories, and there are people that probably know a lot more than I do. But what I'm saying is, we need more people doing this research. We need more people talking about this stuff. We need more people actually devoting their life to these things. Like, I'm devoting my life to building communities, building villages, cities. So it's the whole entire cities, villages for like 1,000 people each. And then networks of them, 1,000 villages create a city. So we have 1,000 people in a village, 1,000 villages to create a city, and then 1,000 cities to help feed, house, and empower 1 billion people. Now, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm devoting my life to. And Jack's devoting his life to Alibaba and his undertakings. And he just doesn't worry about the things he can't control. He says, someone else will do it. And someone else will. People like Elon Musk. So there are going to be individuals that stand out. But we need to make it so that the planet as a whole, everyone is understanding the power that they hold in the palm of their hands. We need to make, over the next 30 years, the whole world will become connected. No matter what, pretty much everyone is going to have some connection to the network, whether it's through these devices or it's a Neuralink type device. Elon wants to be the one to create it because if he doesn't, someone else will. He knows this. That's why he's investing so much money. That's why he's working to. When he does something like this, debate was to attract talent to his companies. That's what it was about. It was to attract the smart people that are listening to things like this and understanding that, hey, I need to join forces. There's no way to do this without cooperation. It's cooperation of large organizations. Now, we've got countries. So, we've got to think of it not in the way of us versus them or countries or any of that. We've got to think of it in a way of decentralized villages and working within the confines of this universe we're living in and this country system we're living in. Let's not go messing around with borders or any of that. Let's not go around trying to make one world government or anything like that. Let's just try to take the best and spread it around. Say, you know what? If you want to have this kind of lifestyle, this is how you can live it. Create your own village, and you can live where no cars are allowed, only horses, by horseback and walking around. You don't want to do that. You don't want to subject animals to that. Okay, create a place where everyone has bicycles and everything's man-powered. And where when people go to work out, it's creating energy from the bicycles. Whatever. This is the time to create the communities. And you create these communities next to existing communities. You create these with retail space, event space, manufacturing space, co-working space, prototyping space, having the actual maker spaces, having ultra high-speed internet for everyone. Food production, energy production, storage, water, wastewater systems, recycling, all these things are very key. These are the problems we need to be solving. Yes, we need to use AI, but we need to eliminate jobs, but we need to also keep people busy, keep people engaged so that they're not seeking, play by terrorizing people, so that they're not seeking significance by terrorizing people. There's a consciousness shift that needs to happen, so that's why we can't have this happen overnight. That's why I understand that this isn't an overnight thing that I'm doing. This is a lifetime mission, a 30-year mission, and then whatever happens after that happens. But I feel an obligation to house at least 1 billion people over the next 30 years. If I don't do that, I don't feel like I'm doing right by humanity. I mean, Mars is great, and I intend to have a city on Mars by 2049. Um, it's not like, we just have to keep working toward it. If we don't work toward it, then it won't happen. That's why people like Elon are so inspiring. Education is key. When I first set out, is what I wanted to create was a free educational institute. And now I feel almost like a professor giving lectures through my daily shows. And I'm hoping that I can create an education that inspires you to get your own education and whatever your passion is, to craft your education, to craft you or yourself for your passions. Here's something interesting. In China, suicide is the fifth leading cause of death and accounts for over 1/4 of suicides worldwide. In contrast with many Western countries, in which men are more likely to commit suicide. Most suicide victims in China are women. China's economic boom has led to greater independence for women, who are now much more able to get divorced as a means of dealing with domestic violence. However, the strain of divorce means that they must work long hours while raising their children, often without the support of family that the culture has traditionally relied on in the past. When women are showing the strain of their stressful lives and are admitted to a hospital for psychiatric care, they are actually likely to be discharged much sooner than their male counterparts. They feel they need to return to their jobs and families as quickly as possible, even if they are not ready to do so. Additionally, many insurances do not cover hospital stays in cases of attempted suicide. These strains have exacerbated suicide among Chinese women. People in rural areas of China are as much as 5 times more likely to commit suicide than people in cities. This notion may be attributed to the fact of mental health care, the stigma associated with mental illness, such as schizophrenia, poverty, and poor education. However, exact statistics are hard to come by because few to no epidemiological studies on suicide have been carried out by the Chinese government. So we need to think about where we're devoting our energy, where we're devoting our time. And there we need to understand, yes, we're going to have to help take care of people. We need to put money back in the hands of people. And in the United States, we need to test it with something like a freedom dividend. And I'm not saying I'm throwing my support behind Andrew Yang. I'm currently neutral to all government other than God's government. And what I mean by that is that I'm not working to sway world governments right like that. I don't know those people and what they're doing. And I really should probably even be careful with, my Apple Sidekick podcast and this Tesla Sidekick podcast, the Law of Success Mastermind. The reason I'm doing so many is to stay away from any individual ideologies. You look at Elon Musk; he's he's not really that atheistic. He believes we live in a simulation, which is very theistic. Really, that we have a creator. We may have biological beings attached to these simulated selves. We don't really know what this is. But the conversation between Jack and Elon was really almost like the simulation was messing with Elon. And what I mean by that is that the simulation would be vastly smarter than any humans. So if we're poking and trying to get out of the simulation, he's trying to shoot a rocket out of the simulation. He's trying to find what's out there and to explore and to do more. So that, eventually he figures humanity will get bored because we've got to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward. If you look at the Disney movies of the past, on the spaceships and stuff, it was cool. On the space stations, It's like whole cities in space. In the movies where you have whole cities in space, it's cool to think about, especially when you're worried about, okay, we need to think about moving out of the way of solar storms. And if we do get damaged, we need to know how to solve that. This takes many, many years of innovation. This may be thousands of years, but right now we can document things and leave this behind for future generations. What I'm doing here may not be seen at the most for another 30 years. But my hope is that during my lifetime, it attracts the right people so that we can create this foundation. I just want to be a part of it. And I think a lot of people want to be a part of it. And that's what this is about, is creating the opportunity for people to be a part of it. I'm going to end things. This is what Jack Ma ended things with. I think we need to do more things to improve this earth, improve this world, and make sure that people are happier and people care about the family, people care about the house. That's all we should do, and trust us. Trust a human beings, or trust human beings, and trust young people. Let's take responsibility for today, but let's not take away all the solutions for tomorrow. It's great it's great human beings make mistakes. It's great human beings learn from mistakes. It's great to die. And then Elon said, ha, ha, that's probably true. Now, AI was able to convert that text to speech. It wasn't 100% accurate, but it was as accurate as any human, far more accurate, because it's doing it on the fly, and then it can also convert it to other languages. It can do many, many things that humans can't do. Jobs are going to be gone, but that doesn't mean that people won't still work. That's very important. We're always going to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward. We're going to live with certainty, work for significance, play for variety, love for connection, learn for growth, and pay it forward for contribution. This is going to meet all of our human needs. And, over the next 30 years, who knows what things are going to be like. The journey is the reward, really. And this whole experience is going to be amazing. Each day is amazing. I love my life. I struggle, but I know that it's all part of the journey. And that's how I'm getting over my own suicidal ideation. This is to help people to just live out their lives and live their purpose, to eliminate suicide, to eliminate drug addiction and that kind of thing, to eliminate the overdoses, the accidental deaths. Now, this isn't to eliminate natural selection. That's not what this is about. It's just to make life a much better experience so that we minimize these things so much that they're eliminated as much as we can eliminate them. I think there may always be a yin and a yang, yin and a yang. Oh man, I love this journey. I love that this is my life now. And thank you for listening, because the fact that you're listening means that I can keep doing what I love, and I can keep manifesting things, because I believe that my path, that my purpose is important. I believe that people need someone like me to help design and bring together the villages, the communities of the future. My mission, like I said, is to help feed, house, and empower 1 billion people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward for global happiness, health, and selfless abundance. That's my mission. That's my vision. That's the perspective I'm coming at this from. Elon believes AI is love. I believe that with love, with working together, with all of us understanding that we can contribute, that we can be billionaires by impacting 1 billion lives and live our best lives. That's what's important. Thank you. Check out inspirelansing.com. The website for this podcast is teslasidekick.com. Thank you. Have a good one.